Welcome to a very, very windy April morning here in Salem, Massachusetts. I don't know if you could hear that wind blowing against me, but damn. We've been getting nailed with some windy days here lately. Anyway, I'm going to show you a couple things here. For those of you that like movie locations, there's some movies made in Salem. And one of them was Lords of Salem, that Rob Zombie movie, that really twisted one. Well, here is one of the opening scenes of the house. And as you can see right here, this is the exterior, and all of the interior scenes were not filmed here. I wish they were. That'd be pretty cool to go in there, because that was a really creepy looking, kind of apartment situation. But oh, look, someone's getting some creepy delivery here. But this is the house that Sherry Moon Zombie was living in as her character. I wonder what that package is. Run, bro, run. So if you're looking for this house, what you want to do is you want to come down Essex Street past the Salem Library, which is that over there in the distance. And as soon as you start coming around the curve, it's going to be right here on the corner. If you end up going down too much further, you'll end up past going to the intersection down by Essex Street. You went too far. So, yep, just stay looking to your right if you're going from the library. Little side view of it. But of course in the movie they use all kinds of cinema filters and stuff to add a gloomy look to it. Let's look at the front. Like I said, corner of Hamilton Street and Essex Street. And here's the front door. But I did look inside there one day when the door was open. Nothing like the movie. All right, I'm gonna hit a couple other spots we're gonna check out from the movie. I think we'll go downtown Salem now. Well, technically we are downtown Salem, but more downtown. So, it is Easter today, so happy Zombie Jesus Day. That is right, Jesus is the first zombie ever, and he's glorified as the first zombie ever. So, put it any way you want, he is the first zombie. So happy Easter 2025 from Salem. Salem's pretty empty today because of it being Easter. I mean, compared to normally, it's pretty damn empty. So there are some people running around, but again, not as much as there would normally be. So we're in downtown on the crossing of Essex Street and Washington. Washington being the main artery that goes through the middle, and Essex Street being one of the areas where everything else is for all the fun stores and everything else. And there is the Bewitched statue.
Big H team. Miss LaRock had been missing.
You probably saw that from the part where Sherry Moon walks right past it. But this here again is in downtown on the corner of Essex and Washington. You'll know it because it's right next to Gulu Gulu and Flying Saucer Pizza Company, which are absolutely must-go-tos when you come here. that you see some people walk by, but we're heading over here. One of the scenes when they're doing black and white stills of Salem, you'll see here, this is Rockefeller's, the Daniel Low Company building.
Appearance of Adelaide Hawthorne, better known as Heidi LaRock, 1/3 of WIQZ.
It's a restaurant bar, it's pretty good. Now, a little bit windy, I don't know if you could hear me, but we're making our way down Essex Street. The pedestrian version side of it all, where not many cars come down at all. And this is where also you'll see a bunch of stores, a little area you can get a bunch of knickknacks in Salem. Definitely a tourist section of Salem. But in one of the scenes you'll see that it deals with this area. Anyway, you'll probably notice this part from the movie too. So this is where Sherry goes for a meeting, dealing with her issues. But this is actually Salem's old town hall.
I wasn't the kind of guy who would really learn from other people's mistakes. It was just not the way I did it. If I did it, I was going to do it, and I was going to learn the lesson the hard way.
If you're a huge fan of Hocus Pocus, this was also in the movie where they have the dance. And you see them going upstairs to head to the dance. But Sherry goes here for some little therapy. As you can see, they're doing some restoration. But again, what you see in the movie when she goes inside for her meetings, it's not what's in there. That part was also done in a different location. But I do believe the party from Hocus Pocus, when they had it in here, which was upstairs, was in there. Yeah, they're redoing it all up, huh? All right, we're gonna make a pit stop at Engine House Pizza. Here's the back side of the town hall. But what most people have seen of it in other movies is the front side. Aww, true love. So we are on Front Street right now. And if you want to go to where the pizza shop is in the movie, which is Engine House, you're going to want to hit the corner of Central Street and Essex Street. And the reason why it's called Engine House Pizza is because it's right next to the main fire station here in Salem. I really need to get moving on my Salem Eats videos, but this right here, Barrio, is one place I gotta do. Their tacos and burritos are fantastic. So one of these days when I do some more Salem Eats videos, I'll probably hit that spot and go crazy and get fat. So here we are, Engine House Pizza. Now the scenes from the inside of Engine House Pizza are from inside, and it's actually from inside of that window, as a matter of fact, right there, looking towards the front of the pizza place here.
Wendy, I can't make an exception. The oven's already off. Look, I got a couple calzones left. I can drop them off on my way home.
But it being Zombie Jesus Day, it's not open at the moment. I mean, it is still early in the day. But again, with it being Easter and it being early, it's not open. But that's Engine House Pizza. Pretty good pizza, as a matter of fact. That's right here on Derby Street. Well worth it. And like I said, the movie scene inside of there actually takes place inside of there from the furthest point corner in the backside. But again, it's right next to the fire station. So on Washington Street and right over here we got Salem City Hall. Old building. Old City Hall. And it's still functioning as the City Hall. Now you remember from the movie they showed a quick little still in black and white of Salem cycles or Salem bicycles. That's gone, but now we got Annie's Asian Market, which I'm about to go in a second. This place is the bomb. You guys got to hit this place. All right, just left the Asian Mart, heading back to my car. Gonna take you over to the cemetery. Get a couple shots from over there. Salem is starting to live up here on Easter. So apparently everybody found their eggs. Oh, all right, so one of the Salem Willows beaches over here. But here it is, the brand new pier that we have. Took a while to make this damn thing, to be honest with you. But this is it. Straight pier that goes out. I think it's about the same distance as the old one.
Hey, it's me. Yeah, I was just calling to say, what's up?
Look at this, brand new. As a kid, we used to friggin' jump off of the old one. Yeah, we used to jump off the old one at the end. It was crazy, it was fun. We'd have to jump off and then swim back. But they used to have a couple little rafts down at the bottom where you could come back up and come back to the top. All right, leaving downtown Salem and heading up North Street, and we're gonna head over to the cemetery where you see a lot of scenes with Sherry at taking a little walk around. And I think it's also part of the scenes, some of the opening scenes that happen. So what we're pulling into here is called Green Lawn Cemetery. And it's where a lot of filming took place for the film Lords of Salem. But we're going to start it out over by the bridge. And here we are at the bridge. Now this bridge is at one corner here at the cemetery. Looks a little bit dry right now with the water, but usually there's a lot more water in this bridge, underneath it at least. But you could see this is one of the parts where Sherry Moon walks from that side over to that side. got the steps. So in the film, she comes down from those steps there, makes her way down, and then across the bridge. Cool little sky view from up here. It looks a lot different in the summer. But right now, with everything in the spring starting to grow back, it looks cool too. But it definitely looks amazing in October. Through the beneficence of Walter Scott Dixon, these steps were built in 1929. Probably can't hear them that well on the audio, but there's a bunch of frogs chirping, making some noise. This is actually like the emptiest I've actually seen this pond. Oh, look, 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 there's a frog right there. You see him? Man, I'm telling you, Salem trees are just creepy looking. They just love to just branch off in weird directions. All right, so we go from the bridge up to the church. Look at that. 1893 it says. Erected by the city of Salem as a memorial to Walter Scott Dixon, who in memory of his wife gave these buildings for public use and by his will bequeathed generously, yeah, there was my English, to the city and its institutions, 1901. Why does that sound, that word is just weird, bequeathed. I don't know, you figure it out. You know, when you think about it, hanging around a cemetery, it's the safest place in the world, right? Everybody's dead. Cute little garden walkway. Now, I personally have never been in here, and I know that the church scene that takes place in the movie does not take place in here. But again, pretty cool. Now, this is one of the spots where shows a spot of Sherry Moon sitting down, looking upset. And I believe it's from this angle. Something like that. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. That's it for on locations of Lords of Salem here in Salem. I'm gonna go visit a friend of mine who actually is buried here, unfortunately. We lost him not too long ago, but I'm gonna go home after, make myself something to eat, do some editing on this, and throw it out there. So, see you guys later.